Okay, so today is Yud Aleph Tevet, and today we're going to be learning in Tanya Perek Yud. So, what do we learn in Perek Yud? So, until now, Perek Tet, we learned about the battle between the animal soul and the godly soul. So, we're taking that in Perek Yud to the next step. What happens when the godly soul overcomes the animal soul? So, the animal soul is being removed slowly but surely out of the system of the soul, out of the body. You're removing all the evil from inside of you. Now, when you remove practically all the evil, not all of it entirely, but most of it, then you are called a tzadik v'rava, which is a tzadik who has evil inside of him. That's what it's called, and bad for him. In other words, he has evil still inside of him. The Rebbe also explains that we will see this also in his life. He will have different suffering that he's going through in his life. Someone who's a complete tzaddik, he doesn't have these sufferings. But if you're a tzaddik v'ralo, so because you have evil inside of you, Hashem is helping you with the cleansing process and remove that evil by putting you through different sufferings, money or whatever it may be, diseases, whatever it may be, anything that can help you achieve the level of a tzaddik v'tovlo, a complete tzaddik where where all the evil is removed from you. So this evil we have inside the tzaddik v'ralo, we said is all the evil is practically gone, and the evil is so minute that it really plays no role in his life whatsoever. He will not even have a thought to do an Aveiro. He will not be drawn to doing an Aveiro. With that said, how do we differentiate between a tzaddik v'rala, where the evil is practically dormant, and it is dormant, it is dormant, plays no role in his life whatsoever, and a tzadik v'tovlo, that has no evil inside of him whatsoever. And so the Tanya explains that based on the tzadik v'tovlo, we can understand how we can differentiate between a tzadik v'rala and tzadik v'tovlo. So what's a tzadik v'tovlo? A tzadik v'tovlo, like we said, he removed all the evil that's inside of him, and that comes from a level of love that he achieved towards Hashem. He aroused the love by contemplating on the greatness of Hashem, and he got really deep into that meditation, and he aroused a very high level of love towards Hashem, and that love is what removed all the evil from within inside of him. And because of how much he loves Hashem, he hates and is disgusted and is appalled by anything that is not associated with Hashem. And he transforms the evil into good. So he removed the evil, but there's still liveliness in there. Even though the evil itself was removed, but there's still liveliness from that evil, that when the tzaddik becomes a complete tzaddik, he transforms that into good. And right, so that's what the tzaddik v'tovlo does. So now, the tzaddik v'ralo, even though he's not drawn to anything bad, but if he hears something that is not associated with Hashem, he won't be appalled by the idea. Just the thought of doing a Avera, it won't shake him up. Whoa, I can't fathom that thought. He could fathom those thoughts. He's not going to think of these ideas, but if he hears about them, he's not going to be disgusted by them. So that's how you identify, or how a person for himself can identify between a tzaddik v'ralo and a tzaddik v'tovlo. As long as I am not completely appalled by this idea of something that's not associated with Hashem, that is a sign that I still have evil inside of me and I still have more work to do. So we said this comes from the level of love, right? The fact that all the evil was removed and you're disgusted by this evil, by anything that's not associated with Hashem, that comes from the high level of love that the tzaddik achieved. The tzadik v'tovlo. So there are two terminologies that we see that the Tanya brings over here. One of them is, it's brought down in the Gemara, brought down in Zohar. One of them is tzadik v'rala, or tzadik v'tovlo, and the other one is tzadik she'enoi gamor, is not a complete tzadik, or a tzadik gamor, it's a complete tzadik. So what's the difference between these two terminologies? So Tanya explains the terminology of Rala v'tovlo, he has it's bad to him or it's good to him, is referring to the evil inside of him. As long as he has the evil inside of him, he's called Rala. Once that evil is transformed into good, which happens after he removes all the evil, so then he's called Tovlo. It's good for him. He has now good inside of him. That evil has been replaced with good. The non-complete tzaddik, what that is addressing, is the love that he has for Hashem. He is still lacking in the love that is necessary to fulfill the highest level of a tzaddik. So his love is lacking. That's why it's called a non-complete tzaddik, addressing his lack in love that he has for Hashem. While the tzaddik gamor, a complete tzaddik, is addressing that he has achieved this highest level of love that he can achieve for Hashem. Now, with this, we need to know that everything that we're learning over here is not to give us guidance for us to go out there and say, I'm going to be a complete tzaddik and I'm going to remove all the evil within inside of me. We still need to learn more in Tanya how to do this. And we even learn later on in Tanya that not everybody can do this. And achieving the level of a Benoni is a very big deal, we learn later on in Tanya. So we just need to keep this information in mind, and later on we'll learn how to make it more practical, how to make it more, what to do with this information. So let's just keep this in mind and not do anything with it for the meantime. And B'ezrat Hashem, we will be zecher to Mashiach tzedkenu techel miyad mamash, and all the evil will be removed from the world, and the world will be purely good, and we'll live one with the revelation of Hashem.